welcome back to the channel. I have here with me the 4 commander decks for Dungeons and Dragons Battleful Baldur's Gate set. So in the next videos I'll be opening one by one the Party Time, the Mind Flayarrrs, the Draconic Descent, and Exit for Exiles. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for all these decks. This video will be dedicated to Mind Flayarrrs. I think what they're trying to do here is Mind Flayarr, the creature from Dungeons and Dragons with flyers for pirates, like the pirate scream. So black and blue, and the commander is Captain Nagatrod. Join Captain Nagatrod's motley crew of horrors and pillage your opponent's most powerful spells. What's there is yours, and what's yours is deadly. We'll get to know more about Captain inside. So let's see what is inside. Mind Flayarrrs. Show me. I don't know how to do this. Not a pirate person. So I'm not gonna try more. Okay, don't forget that you have the tokens around to punch out. Then comes here inside this interesting box, which you can store your deck even sleeved. I like them very much. Inside you have, it comes with a life dial that no one uses. Use the apps. They always send this sample pack for the collector's booth, so it's kind of treat. I like it. I hope they continue doing that for many commander decks, because it's extra cards that you get. Maybe you can get the big one. Never heard of someone that got a lottery ticket from these sample packs, but who knows? Maybe it's today. Jan Jensen, the Chaos Crafter. And the Goggles of the Night. Yeah, so it wasn't today as well. Then, beside the deck and the tokens, you have this paper, which, if you're new to this, it will give you more information about the strategy of the deck and a reminder of the commander rules, but by now, I'm sure everyone knows how to play commander. And on the other side, you have the lore for the main commander. Captain Nagatrod. Any adventurer can tell you that a pirate captain is dangerous, an evil mage is deadly, and the mind flayer is best avoided at any cost. Captain Nagatrod shows that sometimes the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, commanding the Scavenger, a spell-jamming vessel designed to travel to space. Nagatrod commands a crew of ferocious grey sluts. Nagatrod was content to wander the stars in search of plunder and delectable brains until it brought its ship into orbit around Toriel. This is a space adventure. Alistair, the master of Undermountain, lured the Mind Flayer through the gate and into the depths of his massive dungeon, capturing ship, captain, and crew. Nagatrod now has only one goal: to escape at any cost. It is even willing to negotiate with adventurers to restore his ship in order to flee. Once it is free of Alistair's clutches, it plans to feast off the brains of anyone avoiding enough to ally with it and return once more to marauding the stars. Never knew that Baldur's Gate also included cosmic worlds, so I thought they were just limited to Earth and not ships in the stars, like a Star Trek kind of thing. But that's good to know. Especially, oops, where are you going back? Especially because when I'm recording this video, it was already announced the Edge of Eternity's set that will be released 2025, and I'm very excited with that one. So there it is, Captain Nagatrod, 5 mana, 3/6, and your horrors, like himself, have manas. When a horror you control deal combat damage to a player, that player mills that many cards. And then the trick here is, at the beginning of your end step, choose target artifact or creature card in an opponent's graveyard that was put there from their library this turn. Put it into the battlefield under your control. So you give damage and then you steal creatures or artifacts from other guys as long as an horror hit. So this is, in theory, it's very good. In theory, this is very good and very fun. And then, as a secondary, we have another Mind Flayer, Zelix. This man, woman, do you have genders in Mind Flayers? So Zelix partners or has a background here, which is the Haunted one. So 3 for a 2/3 with Mind Hive. Whenever a player mills one or more creature cards, you create a horror. Target player mills, so you make the player mills in order for you to create horrors. And the background says, character creatures you own have, whenever this creature becomes tapped, like the commander, it and other creatures you control that share the creature type, which will be horror, get +2/+0 and gain Undying until the end of the turn. When a creature with Undying dies, if it had no +1 counter, it returns to the battlefield under its controller with a +1 counter. Okay, so they have like 2 lives, they come back stronger, and still they will get that +2. Okay, so this guy will create an army of horrors. I prefer the first one because you'll get the big boys from the other decks working for you. This one is more of a tribal deck of horrors, and I don't know how this deck is built. So let's see how the deck is built then. Aboleth Spawn, fish horror with flash. Whenever creature entering the battlefield under an opponent control causes a triggered ability, you may copy it with new targets. Encant creature you control, beginning, create a token that is a copy, except it's 1/1. It creates an horror, okay, when it dies. The Grell Philosopher. I won't stop into all cards, so if you are really interested in seeing more details of a specific card, just pause the video, please. Psionic Ritual. Okay, so this is very thematic for the Mind Flayers. Tap and untap the horror you control to replicate. When you cast the spell, copy it for each time you pay the replicate cost. Okay, so you can tap the horrors and then exile target instance of sorcery from graveyard and copy it. You may cast the copy without paying the costs. Ooh. So that's why it's super expensive, because you can copy it many times with all the horrors there. Even dragon horrors here. The Brain Stealer Dragon. Okay, so it's a Mind Flayer dragon. Chaos from the Catacombs. Put target creature from a graveyard into the battlefield under your control with a corpse counter. You take the initiative, so you go down. Ukuluun, a crab horror. Chasm Skulker, Squid horror. Forgotten Creation, zombie horror. Fractured Sanity. Each opponent mills 14 cards. 14 cards. And then you just need to hit with an horror to get that creature back. Grazilax, Illithid Scholar. The Hulkbreaker horror can be played with flash. And when you cast, return target spell to the owner hands or return target permanent to the owner hands. This is always a big surprise, this guy. Lane line of anticipation. The Mind Flayer. Okay, so they had the Mind Flayer card. The original one, the OG one. Overcharged Amalgam. Zombie horror. Pool from Tomorrow. Reflections of Littjara. It's a shapeshifter thing. Sludge Monster. Wharf Infiltrator. The Black Market. Crippling Fear. Curtain Skull. Oh, look at the artwork. So this guy's gonna throw that blade pendulum into those guys. Oh, and down to destroy 2 targets. Target what? Target creatures. Dark Hatchling. Dross Harvester. The Guild Feeder. Hex. Haunted Horror. Ingaruk's Wake. Night Howler. Nihilith. A Nihilith. Sewer Nemesis. Woe Strider. Consuming Aberration. Memory Plunder. Not sure what's happening here on this card, but Nemesis of Reason. Another horror. In this case is Leviathan. Phyrexian Revoker. Even Phyrexians have horrors. Sometimes just by being a Phyrexian you look very ugly, so but still you can also be an horror. Okay, so this is a brain into a mechanical crab. The Crawler. Spell's Guide. Okay, so now we have the typical lands. Some specific ones for the blue and black. Now is the land. No. Target Prey Mills cards. River of Tears. Sunken Hollow. Temple of the Seed. Signet. The Mind Stone. Tower. Fact or Fiction. Fact or Fiction. Okay, so now you have a Tempest. Tempest. Horror Shadow card here. So old. So old is one of the oldest. Probably the oldest here in the deck. Not the oldest because you have Soul Rings, etc., but one of the oldest. Feed the Swarm. Phyrexian Rager. Blade Spitter. Chupacabra. Symphon Mind. Down with the Look. Extract from Darkness. It's coming out the sewers there. Dimir Kirun. Dimir Signet. Everflowing Chalice. Herald's Horn. Greaves. Mind Crank. Whenever an opponent loses life, that player mills that many cards. Okay. There's the Soul. Talisman. Dot Vassal. And now we're getting to the final lands. The final ones. Oh, False God, Islands. And Swampies. That's it, the swamps. Sure. So the only thing left would be the tokens. So let's take a look at them. And we get Eldrazi Horrors, Centaurs. So these are green tokens from a blue and black deck. That's strange. Copies, lots of copies here for all the doppelgangers. So there's the Undercity as a dungeon for it to explore. Squids, we saw an horror squid. The basic horror kind of creature. And that's it, yeah. And we're done. We're done with the Baldur's Gate Commander decks, and this was the Mind Flayer. I hope you like this video. If so, don't forget then to hit that like button and consider subscribing, especially because I have a playlist fully dedicated to Magic the Gathering, with lots of openings of Commander decks, as well as a playlist for all the major card games out there, as well as board games. And recently I'm also launching a new kind of content which I call Table Talks, where I'm interviewing people to get to know more about their projects, their stories, their profiles, while playing board games online. So I definitely think that you'll find interesting content in the channel to consider subscribing and be part of this community. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you on the next video. Goodbye.